Following podcast may be explicit. One Joe Young presents Adventures from the Shed, a tabletop RPG podcast. You can find us online at adventuresfromtheshed.com.
And you are finding us right here, right now on Adventures from the Shed online. We are here tonight with a special holiday episode. We're going to go around the table and say hi. We'll start with me this time. I'm Joe, and next we're going to go to that guy right there.
Yeah, it's me. I'm Zeb.
And we're here.
And then there's Randy, and that's this guy right here. Hi.
Randy's that guy.
Oh, it was in a different order when I was on the other screen.
Sorry,
Sorry, Chris.
It went top to bottom instead of around and clockwise-ing.
Sorry, Chris.
All right, yeah, Chris. No worries, man. Hopefully you can hear me. Yeah, this is Chris. I'll be the game runner.
The Gaminator.
And I'm Randy. Did we do that right? We're cutting the other part out, right?
So, Chris, we are doing a special holiday episode. We're going to be playing a game, and Chris is going to get us kicked off on what the heck we're doing.
Yeah, so this is the Blade Runner role-playing game by, I think it's called Free League Publishing that puts it out. They do like Aliens and some other stuff too. Which oddly enough, so supposedly they're in the same universe. It's kind of funny. So it's all through Roll20, obvious, but the starter set did come with a lot of nice handouts that would have been cool to do in person, but Roll20 has.
Yeah, what you gonna do?
So everybody plays a Blade Runner in this game. The way the starter set's set up, there's 2 humans you could choose from, and 2 replicants, which are the androids, right? They're not human, but they look human, more human than human, as they say in the movie, right? And then Randy is correct that this is in between the 2 movies. So the first one, the year was 2019, and then the latest one is 2049. So this one takes place in 2037. But basically, a lot of the characters you see in the sequel and all the tech is right up to speed with this version, which is kind of funny. So if you've seen the movie, then you'll see characters in here like, oh, okay, it's interesting.
If you haven't seen the movie, you're looking at this map saying, do I want to do a Kumite blood sport or go visit Aphrodite?
Yeah, I think one of the sections has like Piss Alley on it.
Yeah. I'm looking at Piss Alley right now. It's right in the center.
Oh, that's
Sector 5.
One thing, I don't want to go to this place down in the southeast part of the map. I don't want to go to Kill.
Yeah, that's like a tabloid magazine.
Can we go to Bright Ice Beauty Salon?
Yeah,
I need to get my hair on.
It's right near Rag Row. I guess if you're living near Rag Row, you're ready to be killed or do some killing.
Yeah, Rag Row should be like the whole like the magazines and whatnot, all that stuff, because they have like Nightclub Row for all the nightclubs and clubs and all that jazz. It's interesting since nobody's really seen the movie that well. Like normally you would have whoever has the most knowledge about Blade Runner would probably play the Willem Novak character because he's got the most time on the force. Like he's the old veteran. Yeah, I'm getting too old for this shit kind of guy. And then kind of a replicant, and then Percival is also a replicant. Anybody that's got numbers, obviously, is a replicant. And then Olsen, I think that's how it's pronounced, like Oilson Baker is a human as well.
Okay.
So Willem and Percival are males. Fenna and Oilson are females. So I don't know who wants to play who, but I'll have to assign the characters out, and I'll just run one as an NPC or just it'll be a backup in case somebody gets killed. Even though it's not that it's super hard to get killed, but it's not easy to get killed in this game unless you really make mistakes.
Oh, I got that.
All right, you 2 stay here. I run to the room.
That'll be mistake laden.
Hold my weapon.
Which one of them is also named Leroy Jenkins? Because that would be Randy's character.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure if anyone's. Yeah, so Willem's he's like the inspector archetype. He's the old veteran. So the replicants, I guess, got a little background on this too. So anybody's familiar with the movies, there's the Nexus 6 line of replicants that had a 4-year lifespan, and any of those would be dead by now. That was like the 2019 stuff and from the first movie. And then the new ones are the Nexus 9s, which have only been out for a year. So it's one of those things where, okay, we have replicants, we can't trust them, they're going crazy. And then they still had them out there, the version of Nexus 8s that still exist, but they're kind of on the naughty list. So where it's like the UN is like, hey, if you see a Nexus 8, you gotta bring them in, put them down kind of thing, because we can't trust those. So there's a lot of Nexus 8s that are still on the planet, but they try to get off planet because it's not safe for them here. Because the entire database of replicants was released back in the day, and they, people know kind of who's who kind of thing.
Yeah.
Although there was like a blackout period, like in the year 2022, there was a blackout where the replicants tried to EMP stuff and wipe databases out and stuff. That jazz. Trying to think what else. So so the Nexus 9s are the newbies. They've only been on out for a year. So if you look at those two characters, Fenna and Percival, they're only a year in on the Force, but they are allowed to be. So it's kind of funny. They're replicants, but they're Blade Runners, so they kind of have to kill their own people, kind of thing. But not like the first movie where you had like carte blanche just to shoot replicants on sight. You have to get a replicant kill order. So you have to go up the chain like, hey, here's proof of a replicant. We want the order to put them down. Now, obviously, if it's in self-defense or they're trying to in process of trying to kill somebody, you could just waste them. But you can't just see one and say, "Hey, kill replicant." You got to go up the chain, through the boss.
You need some probable cause or evidence.
Yeah. Well, you need to prove that they're a replicant.
Okay.
You need to verify. You can't, because they're indistinguishable. For you cut them, they bleed red blood. Even the organs might be synthetic, but it would look real. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You just don't know. All Nexus 8s have like a serial number on their right eyelid, so that's what you'd have to use your little scanning tool. It's a KIA knowledge integration assistant that all the Blade Runners have. Which every character should be carrying. It's kind of like an all-in-one. It's like a smartphone kind of thing, but a little bit clunkier. So there's a mix of super high-tech stuff, but then low-tech stuff. So they still have newspapers and magazines because they don't completely trust technology because of what happened previously with the EMP and the blackout. So there's a lot of mix of tech styles within the game.
Okay.
And then the background of this takes place in Los Angeles, so there's parts of the area that are kind of like wasteland. There's nothing there. Like Las Vegas has been blown out, by a dirty bomb that they wanted to try to set off in LA. So there's a lot of areas that are outside of the city that are crappy now, that are toxic. If you've seen Blade Runner, it's always seems like it's raining all the time, kind of thing. And the way it's built up, you have, the classes, like the rich people live on the top, so you can have 100+ floors of buildings where all the rich people are 100th floor and above, and everybody that's poor lives below them. So they just keep building up instead of out because there's not enough space anymore.
Well, I say since Zeb has actually seen at least one of the movies, he should pick the relic, the Willem.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm cool with that. I'll be Willem.
All right. I'll add it to him. All right. You should be able to do anything. You should be able to see more on his character, I want to say, when you open the character sheet. Because before, I think it was just showing the bio. I think it was locked down to the bio.
Yeah, just the bios.
Yeah, now I can see the full thing.
Yeah, and then I'll go over how the character sheet works because it's kind of a little bit different on roles and whatnot.
Randy, did any of these strike your fancy?
I would say Fenna needs to be picked regardless. Like Fenna and Willem kind of have to be played for sure. The other two are like the optionals,
Okay, who's Fenna? FN9? Fenna. Yep. Okay, I see Fenna at the end of the name. Duh.
I can play Fenna if you'd like. That's fine.
All right.
And then which other one would be best with a human as a as a player character?
It kind of doesn't matter. So the Percival character, he's like an analyst. So he's kind of the guy that works in the crime lab. But it's one of those things like, all right, kid, you're going out on the streets now. We're gonna send you out, And then Oilson is like an enforcer character class. So she was like one of those people that the colony defense system. So there's they've gone out to Mars and the moon. There's a place called the only thing that's very little Wikipedia kind of info for the Blade Runner mythos. So there's a place called Calantha, which has been like a huge battle scene and stuff. So Olson was one of those people that was out doing colonial marine kind of stuff, back in the day. Now it's like, oh, I guess I'll come back and be a cop, right? I was in the military, now I'm a cop. So she kind of has that. But if you look through the background on her thing, she's kind of like, oh, I saw replicants like helping each other out. And it's like, man, I'm kind of ashamed to be human a little bit, Yeah. And then Percival's kind of like
she's now an outspoken member of the replicant right movement.
Right. So, and usually, the replicants a little bit tougher. They got higher stats usually for like strength and agility and stuff. But then they're other like skills might not be as high.
I
like
noticed
humanity and
this
stuff.
as Willem. I have a D in driving.
Yeah, everybody should have a D in driving. Actually, I don't think anybody's got anything
Not
over
super
that
good
really.
at that.
Yeah. So obviously A is good and D is the worst. Well, it's like C is supposedly average, but the driving skill is just really depends what kind of vehicle.
I get you.
Although everybody here has like you guys have the super special detective. They're called spinners, like the flying cars.
I think it makes sense. Percival seems more clueless to what's going on. So since I am too, it probably makes more sense for me to play Percival. As far as clueless as being out in the field, like you mentioned.
Yeah, no worries.
Becoming a field analyst.
There's a lot of cool like flavor on these bios, on these character sheets.
Yeah, I looked up the character I'm going to play on the internet just to get more information, and they do have quite a bit.
Yeah, so you should have a. Can everybody hear me? Okay.
Yeah,
my audio sounds different. It's finally caught up to itself, so it sounds a little different in my head now, which is kind of weird. Everybody should have a key memory and then a key relationship. The key memories you can use to get bonuses for making a roll, like an advantage on a roll, if you want to work it into like the situation. And the key relationships not be something we'd use for this. It's something just to get humanity points, and you can also use it if you get stressed. Like so, anytime you get in a certain situations, you get stressed out, or if you push a roll, like if you fail a roll and like I want to push it and keep going, and if you fail that, like critically fail that, you get some stress points, and after you get to so many stress points, which you should have a maximum resolve, that's how many stress points you can take. When you get to that point, you get broken, which means if you're a human, you need to go de-stress. If you're a replicant, you gotta go take your baseline test, to make sure like you're not whacked out and they gotta put you down. Yeah, so and then you can take damage too when getting stressed out, depending on how the situation is. So
cool. So I opened up my character sheet and shared it here.
Yeah, I'll start from the top on that. So obviously, you got the main section, you got your bio and info, and then trips and abilities. We don't have to worry about that. So, you see, you have your vehicle. I don't know if I listed that for everybody. It probably should just have 2 passengers and 10 hull. It should be the same for everybody. You guys have the same on the little vehicle button.
There it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So you just have it's going to be the same. You guys will be driving the same kind of vehicle. And then if you go back to the Blade Runner page, the Blade Runner tab, you'll have advantage, normal, disadvantage, and then helping. You're mostly going to be at normal, and unless I say you're at an advantage or disadvantage.
Oh, okay.
So that's either going to be add another base dice or remove a base die. So, and then you have your key memory section, which tells you your memory. I would say read this over because it's important. It's almost like it could kind of bolster you or kind of screw you over depending what the memory is.
Okay.
Key relationship, we probably won't worry too much. It's more background flavor, but it's starter set stuff, so it's not going to be super important. I know I've watched a couple people like run through this and they kind of worked it in more because they wanted to have a bigger thing, but I might not work it in depending what it is. Although one of my work I might work in for Percival, I think, because it fits a little bit better. And then home and appearance is like whatever you want to put, right? I'm not going to worry about it. Then years on the force, it shows how many years you've been on the force.
Okay.
And normally, I think you have, well, I guess I'll wait till we get to it. So at the bottom section, you have attributes. So you have your like strength, agility, intelligence, empathy. So that's 1 die of your attribute. And then the skills listed underneath that. So for example, if you're doing force or hand-to-hand or stamina, it would be your strength plus whatever that. So when you roll those, it'll roll like Joe, yours is a D10 and the D6 for force. If you hit the force button down there, if you just click on force.
Force.
Yeah, it goes. It's right beneath strength on your character. I can actually do it on this character too.
I get it now.
So
it says,
yeah, so it rolled the D6 and the D10. So you got a critical failure on 1, and then you get a D6, rolled a 3.
Okay.
So you have no successes. That's what that 0 is on. I don't know if you can see the chat screen.
I do.
So you have zero successes, right? So this is based off success or failures, similar to like Dungeon World, kind of.
Okay.
So the more successes you get, the better off. So more than one success. Usually you just need 1 success to pull something off. If you get like more than 1, that's called a critical success. So depending what you're doing, that could be like you did something very well, or depending what it is, or like, hey, I'm being stealthy, and then you're super quiet, nobody can hear you. But if you're like fighting or shooting, then it's like that each extra success over 1 is more damage. So all the weapons usually do a base. It's either 1 point, 2 point, or I think 3 points is the max I've seen. Like I think it's like a shotgun. So each weapon does its base damage, doesn't change unless you get a crit. Then it goes up by however many more successes over the one success. So Joe, this will be a good example. You'll notice on your little 4, so you've got 0 and you have the 3 and the 1. You could push that.
Yeah.
So you can push. Humans can push once per action, and then replicants could push twice. So you're a replicant, so you can push that. If you hit the push button, it'll re-roll the die, or it should give you an option to roll one or both. Now you normally should only be able to roll one because I think you got a critical failure there. So if you hit the push button,
let me
on the chat screen.
Trying to make it so I can
share the chat screen there.
Now it said when I did that, it says type error, cannot read properties of undefined reading substring. Okay, thank you, Roll20.
Good old Roll20.
Yeah.
See if I hit push on it. Oh yeah, VT is undefined.
I'll tell you how undefined I am.
That's kind of whacked. I don't think I've seen that problem before. Wow.
'Tis indeed.
Learn something new every day.
Wow.
Let's see if I do a firearms roll from this character.
So I can try this. There. I tried to arrange it so I could share just the chat.
Yeah, I gotcha. So I just rolled.
Oh.
All right, so you did a push. Yeah, so it shows you either like one die or both die, right? To push.
Wow, so that did more.
What the heck is that, man?
It worked for me.
You didn't say that we were going to have to do algebra.
I think because that's I'm surprised. That's weird because I'm the one running that character right now. Interesting.
I wonder if it has to do with it's the character that's assigned to me or not.
Yeah, it should be.
Other thing. Click that and then click push.
Yeah, so you can see in the chat where it says push firearms.
Yeah.
And then if you get a critical failure on a push, you take a stress point.
Okay.
And that comes out of your resolve. So when you get to your max resolve, you're considered broken. So which means you can't do anything. You're kind of either zoned out, depending what the situation is. You're either like just zoned out, you won't sit there and do anything, or maybe like, all I can do is crawl, I can barely move. You can't really do any actions, right? And certain things will release stress. I think Willem's character has does he have a flask on him maybe for a drink? I can't remember.
Let's see. I got my old wedding ring.
My character can do origami. If I take a few minutes to fold something, I can get
it de-stresses you, right? Yeah, and you could do that anytime. Like, hey, you say you do something like, oh man, I got one stress point. You get like, oh, I'm gonna do that now. Just get that stress point down so it doesn't build up later.
And Finna has a special ability that says once per shift you can heal a point of stress from another character by talking to them for a few minutes. You cannot use this specialty on yourself.
Yeah, so I haven't got to that part yet, but so.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No worries. We'll get to that. So does everybody kind of understand? Like, if you're doing firearms, you hit the firearm button, and it should roll and give you the amount of successes. Then you can push it if you fail. If you critically fail, you can only push the die that isn't a critical failure, and then humans get one push. Replicants can push twice, provided it isn't critical failures.
The only question I have on that, and I'm sharing the chat one again. What is this?
That's the success. You got one success. So anything above so anything above a 6 is a success. Anything a 10 and up is 2 successes.
So depending on your die, success or failure. So if I
0. So you'd have
0, and then that says 2, but is that because I got a 10?
Yeah, that's 2 successes. So 10 and up is 2 successes. 6 and up is 6 to 9 is 1, and then 10 and up is 2 successes.
All right, so that's making more sense to me then. Cool.
Yep. And then if you fail it, you get a chance to push once for a human, twice for a replicant, provided you don't fail. If you do critically fail a push, stress point. Or 2 stress points if you get pushed twice, and just work real bad. And then, the next section, so that everybody understands the attributes and skills.
I missed the part. Did you say anything about when you hover over the letter and then the other letters pop up? What was that again?
That'll just change your setting for that. So.
Okay.
Yeah, that just edits out your attribute, but we're not doing that. You're going to hit the main button,
just double checking. I saw that and was like, did we talk about that? All right, Good.
No, that would let you change your stats, right? Please
Gotcha.
don't do that.
Not doing it.
I'm not going to keep track, but please don't do that.
All
Yeah.
All right, so they're all A's.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Well, I
hey.
don't know what's a good one, so it's
Yeah.
useless for me to change it.
Stats go,
Good.
It's
A
not
is
like
good.
D&D where I would just
So
change
C-
it from a 10 to an 18.
Yeah,
I
so
don't know.
C is average. You won't
Yeah.
find too many humans with A's on like their stats too often. Some people have it though. Just depends who they are. But so C is usually the average like human kind of thing. Then D is like bleh, and like B and A are like, oh man, that guy's pretty good.
if I didn't know, none of us can drive.
I'm
Yeah,
wicked.
everybody's got driving of D.
So this is the episode where we go to driver school.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
But SpongeBob driving school, so get ready.
Oh no.
Those the vehicle we have, what was it here? The vehicle tab. It's going to be all beat up. That should have all kinds of damage on it already, right?
Now you guys got the fancy it's called the detective spinner, I think that's what it's called.
Ah,
Maybe it looks
well,
like that car I shared on Facebook the other day. Not see that?
no, I don't pay any attention to what you do.
Oh, okay. Thanks,
I
Joe.
have no idea what
Love you too, buddy.
Actually, I watch Randy more than I've ever watched Blade Runner, and I know that's kind of creepy to hear, Randy. But
Well, I mean, he's got that cool clock in the background, so I
He
don't blame
does.
you. Yeah. Anyway, okay. So weapon section. So for this one, you're going to click on the arrows to like fire, whatever you want to do. So if you're looking at like Joe, if you want to, so you're, So I think the replicants are carrying like the Sonic. So that's the same gun. It's just the one damage thing is just like the one barrel. You're trying to show the detective spin and then that's both barrels of the gun when you hit that one. So that's like shooting a 9mm. So the top one's like kind of like your non-lethal damage.
Okay.
You could possibly kill somebody, but the chance is lessened if you do just like the top one. The bottom one's like, I have a higher chance to kill somebody and it's going to do more damage. And like the crit die, so say you crit on that, you would roll. Let's see the crit. So basically, it's damage, the crit die, type of damage, and then minimum range and maximum range.
So I rolled it, and then I got this. So like say that was attack, I would just click the damage button. Although it didn't do anything for me, of course.
That's mine. You're clicking on
mine.
Sorry.
The damage button is just
on Zeb. You're right, Zeb. Sorry.
Depending the damage, which one did you hit? Actually,
it doesn't like me.
Depending which one it should just be
So I'm the only one that can't click on stuff. So we can proceed without me clicking. I guess
that's weird. Yeah, so it's going to be like the set damage to whichever one you pick, right?
Okay.
And then since that one's a critical, I think was that Will Novak is a critical. You got 2 successes, so it'd be at 1 extra point of damage for that one, and then
that one right there.
So he has 2. It should ask you how many you got if I hit. Oh, see 4 damage, and then it says cracked skull, shattered head.
Yeah, if you hit critical, it asks you how many extra successes you got.
Nice.
Yeah. I think I did 2, but it's technically just 1 because I think you got 2 on it.
I don't know if it makes any difference that it's because I'm sharing maybe, and the tab might be acting funny, but that's okay.
Yeah. I mean, maybe close the character and reopen. I don't know. Could be weird.
Yeah.
So, any questions on the firearms section of it?
At what point? I mean, using mine as an example, at what point would I use one over the other? Why wouldn't I always?
It would
damage.
It would be your choice, like because the top one is more of a non-lethal thing. Like I'm not trying to kill this guy. Other one's like my possibility of killing because the crit dies are worse. So 1 through 6 on the crit chart is usually not going to kill anybody. You get above 6 on the crit chart, which goes through 1 through 12, the chance of instant death goes up.
Okay.
Like for example, the one that Willem has in there, cracked skull, shattered head. That's going to be a bad.
Yeah, it's probably going to be a bad day for the recipient.
That's like then depending on the critical damage, like it could take a shift to repair, could take a week to repair, it could be a month, it could be you're dead.
Yeah, probably not folding many origami birds if I take that shot in the head.
Right.
Nope. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Any questions on the weapons after that? I guess.
No other for me.
No.
All right, and then specialities. Originally, it was just Willem that had 3 because he has more. It basically goes by time on the force. But I'm thinking that's lame because replicants have implanted memory, so you can give many specialties you want. I'm like, I'm going to give everybody 3 because the other guy has 3, and other people had none or 1. So each specialty gives you different skills. So depending. Read over these depending what you have. Some will relieve stress. Some you might be able to get a better crit. Some might make you faster and get the double initiative rolls, things like that. So depending what you have, I would read it over, and you get bonuses on certain things.
Okay.
And then signature items should be a stress reliever depending what you have. It's different for every character. I want to say Willem has like the flask or something. I can't, or maybe it's the wedding ring. I can't remember.
Smokes. I guess.
Yeah. Okay, smoke. Yeah, it takes the smoke. Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and like everybody seems to smoke in this world too. It's kind of funny. And then
I can
everybody,
see Willem taking my origami bird to roll a cigarette at some point.
yeah, old school.
Yeah.
And then everybody should have the RDU badge, which is the rep detect unit, replicant detection unit. And that's kind of like one of those things where you have to flash it. Like, hey, if I'm dealing with the public, got to flash my badge, And then the KI unit is the knowledge integration assistant. That's basically your data link to the written mainframe, and you can upload. You don't have to. It automatically downloads everything. So the way this game works too, because you have most things take certain amount of time. So each location is considered like, oh, it's going to take a whole shift for you guys to deal with that. So it's good to. This is one of those games where like it's good to split up.
Okay.
To cover more ground faster to solve the case, because you could possibly run out of time. So there's like a time chart going like, oh, if it gets to here, this happens, and that could be bad, right? So better to cover more ground to figure things out faster. So technically, even though the character might not be at a scene, they can get that as long as you're uploading. If you choose to upload that information, they can have it and know what's happening. You don't have to I don't have to go back and explain later. You know what I mean? Or they could technically help you out. Hey, I'm at the mainframe and I got this information, and you could ask that guy this question even though I'm not there. Kind of chatting with each other. And then everybody's got the same. It's called Detective Special Spinner, which is the flying car. The fans. It's just a 2-seater, but it's nice. It's like you guys are technically all undercover, plain clothes. So you're not wearing body armor. You could choose to get body armor, but it costs promotion points, which is right there, the next section. So promotion points are used to. You can receive promotion points when you gather clues and finish parts of the case, and then you can lose promotion points by doing bad stuff or like bugging people too much about things, depending how it works out. You're trying to make manipulation rolls, and it sucks out for you. Getting on the boss's nerves. He's like, dock the promotion point. Humanity points, we won't have to worry about that for this. And then Chinyen points are your money. Now, one Chinyen point, I think, is said to be worth up to a certain amount of money. So it's not just $1; it could be $100. It just depends what you need to buy with it, or you could bribe people, right? Maybe you're like, my manipulation sucks. I'm just going to give this dude some money, and then all right. So that's what the money's used for. And then health is obviously health. You take so much damage. And then as soon as you get to your max health, you're also considered broken. You're not dying unless you got some critical hit that's like, I'm dying. But it's usually, oh, I'm broken. I need to get healed. I got somebody needs to do a medical roll on me to stabilize me. But then you're same thing, either zoned out or I can just crawl and you can't really do any major actions. And you could technically do medical on yourself too.
Randy did share a picture of our car. And I swear that is the Dollar General right next to my house. It would not surprise me.
That's going to be rough.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
I don't know, man. They got groceries in that Dollar General now.
That wasn't there when I pulled in there, just so you know. Somebody drove that there. And it's not there anymore. It's gone.
Well, it flies. Chris said these are flying cars, so.
Yeah. I'm trying to see if I could.
It spins. That's what it does. It's a spinner.
Yep. Yeah, it's called a spinner.
The car had everything and nothing at the same time.
I might have missed it, but is there a way that we keep track of our stress points? I just wasn't paying attention. Is that the
resolve? It's in that resolve section.
Okay. Yeah. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, so maximum was 4 for your I think most people are 4.
Same.
Maybe.
I'm 5.
That's right. He's got the yeah. Because I think you have also that's another thing too. You can only do 3 shifts and then you have to rest. So it's not necessarily you have to go home, but rest includes I go to the bar and drink and just chill out. You're not doing any casework. And then there's still things that could happen where your downtime is called taking downtime, which could get screwed up, right? People can call you, mess up your downtime, and you get a stress point. It's no good. And then you're at disadvantages. Now, I think Willem, since he's married, I think he has married to the job, he can go 4 shifts and be like, I'm just gonna keep going, but then he's got to rest.
Yep.
So that might be something to work out too. We're like, oh, everybody else has got a downtime. I want to keep pushing it. Then I'll take a break, and everybody else comes back online to it.
Joe, we are some tired, sleepy androids.
Damn right.
I know. I thought that was funny. Like, but replicants are technically, you got to think they're almost basically human, even though they're androids, but they still have the same issues, right?
True.
I got issues. So when we do that, like if you say we're supposed to take some stress or something, we just go in here and like click it like this.
Yep.
Just all right.
Yep.
And then health, it just counts up to death. Not down.
Well, not death, but it's like broken. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what I mean. It's not impossible to get killed, but they make it show you just can't get. Unless somebody crits on you heavy, and rolls good, then it's not impossible to be instantly killed, but hopefully not.
Okay.
Hopefully, right? But I mean, anything's possible, right? It could happen. Yeah.
And then these points at the bottom, promotion, humanity, chin yen, are we going to be using those at all?
The chin yen, possibly. Promotion points, yeah, you could use those depending if oh man, we need to get some special forces team in here. Or you can, there's a bunch of stuff you can ask for, like, oh hey, I want some body armor, and I just have to check what it is. It's either cost, or sometimes you could use, so the promotion points, you can even bribe people in the LAPD, right? Like, hey man, give me my super blaster or whatever.
Nice.
Stuff like that. Or if you need, not that you guys are gonna need warrants, so like even having that being a Blade Runner is almost like you guys are almost like the warrant themselves, But there are certain things where like, I gotta go run that by somebody. I can't just willy-nilly go to town on these people. Like I said, like you can't just retire. They call it retiring replicants. You can't just blast them now unless they're like, currently trying to murder somebody, or like they're trying to kill you, so self-defense. But if you spot somebody like, hey, it's a replicant, I can't blast them. I gotta go call it in and get the approval process, which I thought was interesting. But it's the whole thing. Times have changed, kind of thing,
Will this shift log? Is this just like
for
the player?
Really, we don't have to worry about keeping track. I mean, I'll keep track of that, but it's up to you if you guys want to keep track of that yourself. It's
Dear diary, today I woke up at 5:05 a.m.
That's what I'm thinking. Is that what it is? Dear diary.
Dear diary. Yes, it's not a super big.
Dearest day log.
Done. Oh, you click it and it adds it there. Neat. Okay. I guess I had coffee on.
I haven't even played with that piece really. That's pretty cool though.
All right.
Morning. Woke up.
Yeah, I woke up.
Hey,
that's
my pants.
That's the other tab. Okay.
Still alive. Evening. Still alive.
Oh, I can just switch to being a human at will. This is cool.
Oh, nice.
I just got to click it, and then I can change all this stuff to A's and be a human.
No, yeah,
A team.
I mean replicant. Yeah, you change it to replicant.
Nice.
That's pretty funny.
Okay.
All right.
We're going through the change.
Yeah, I'm probably about as ready as I'm going to get, I'd say. I don't know about others.
Yeah, hopefully that your weird rolling. So I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens, kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, Roll20 is so funky, I feel like sometimes. I don't know. Like, how does your screen look? It's got the main map screen.
Yep, I got that one too. I can switch to that one.
All right, that's got the correct. Yeah, I just left up. It normally has like initiative cards, but I'm like just 1 through 10. I'd rather just roll a 10-sided die and so you just got the initiative,
Okay.
Instead of passing out a bunch of cards. So I think the only cards I left out there was like the obstacle and like chase stuff, because then that's you get to choose if we end up doing that.
So I hadn't actually zoomed out on that yet. I just changed it to zoom to fit, and that's actually a bigger map than I thought it was.
Yeah, it's pretty huge, and it's just a subsection of LA, right? Because there's like Sector 12 down there, and the other one that has like LAX and some other stuff. I can't remember what's in that pile.
Neat.
All right, so we have Willem, which I can't remember if I have the characters. It's still on here somewhere.
They were in the middle earlier.
Yeah, I can see them. They're very small.
Yeah, because depending on the map.
Yeah.
It's not super important for this.
One of us in Little Tokyo. One of us is.
Yeah, I just kind of put them around the LAPD area and whatnot.
Ooh, we're beat cops. That's why our driving sucks. All right, gotcha.
No, technically you're not beat cops. You guys are like the you guys the Blade Runners. You guys are like high end people, man. Like, it's one of those things where people could refuse to talk to you, but it would be bad for them, you know.
It
Like,
was
you
a
can
Yeah.
you can cause a lot of problems. Like I said, you guys are kind of like the warrant yourself, you know. I don't have to go get a warrant. I'm
it
a
was
Blade
a
Runner.
poor driving joke. Come on.
Yeah, you guys are that's gonna be fun if you guys actually have to drive
You've
around
seen
and
my
chase
car.
somebody. Yeah, you guys got fancy cars.
All right, I'm gonna make a left.
All right.
Looks like we're walking again.
This is weird with okay. All right, we ready to try to pull this off? I'm assuming this is probably going to be we're not going to come even close to finishing the case this evening.
Sure. I mean, unless I just go nutty and shoot everyone.
You could do that totally.
Stress +1, +1, +1. Freak out.
That
Done.
is definitely an option. That's funny. I want to see. Okay. All right. I just want to make sure I can get. It's weird how it has like the whole show to players thing. I got to see what's what,
Yeah.
or whatnot. All right. Cool.
That's the other thing, by the way, and I know it's a distraction at this point, but in order to see all the names on my screen, you have to go into the tokens and make it visible to everyone. Otherwise, I only see what's visible to me.
Oh, really?
It's more of a distraction at this point, but if you do get to that, then that would be a way for us to be able to see all the names on the screen I'm sharing.
Oh man, I thought it was on I thought everybody could see it.
Everyone can see the tokens, but in the token properties, the name tag may not be available or visible to everyone. I do that when we play the D&D stuff. I have to go in and make the hit point markers and the names.
Well, it's weird because they are on my screen, but I thought it was set for everybody. Because that's
The
kind of
default for you get to see everything.
Well, no, they originally didn't have the nameplates. I had to add all of them in because I could see all the nameplates on my screen.
Cool.
I just think it's funny that you can't see it on all of them.
Yeah, it's just because of how much I've had to mess with that in our D&D game. I'm like, I know I go into every encounter and I go into each token and I go and change it so that it's visible for everyone instead of just token owner or any individuals or anything like that. And it's really because of the shared screen, the way we're doing this. And since we only share one and we don't want to share the DM screen, because, not good.
It's kind of What? Yeah, so I can see your character name, nameplate set up, but I don't see anything to show.
Like I'm going to sidetrack here for a moment, but if I go into the properties here, I don't get to see the same thing. But you'll have
I could. It's kind of weird.
And you should have like 3 dots right next to where the name is, right next to where the token bars are, and then those 3 dots you can just go visible to everyone.
Oh yeah, I see that, visible to editors.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Yeah. But that's just the true. What the heck?
Yeah, that's why I was saying it could be a little tricky to get there.
Well, it depends which attribute it's trying to think it is.
And that's where where the nameplate is. Now, again, I can't remember offhand because I don't see them in my view right now, but it's something like that.
Oh my god, this thing's being funky when I try to pick show to everyone.
Isn't that awesome?
Oh my god, you are a real jerk. Oh my god,
I can't even select or move someone else's token because of, like we were saying, default,
that I definitely put like can be edited or controlled by. Yeah, I definitely have that on there.
Yeah.
Which I wonder. So I assume everybody could probably go in and put their nameplate on. Maybe. Yeah, that's kind of weird.
Yeah. If you get it to edited and controlled by anybody, then that could make it so that I can see them. I won't edit anything, but it'll let me see and move tokens if I need to.
Yeah, let me do that. It'll be easier.
There, Oilson just showed up.
I'll just put. I will do that because that'll be easier than trying to screw around with what I got going on here.
Yeah, like I said, unfortunately, it does become a little bit of a hassle each time you go into something new. So, and I'll tell you the same thing when you go to the first any token for NPCs or monsters or whatever we happen to encounter, we won't see names unless you do that.
Yeah, that's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow,
all right, cool. So we got that. We're all in this area now. and now I can move them. So that's cool.
Wild.
Nice.
Oh man, you would have learned something new. Everything. Yeah. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Crazy.
So we're all in the LAPD area. So in between like LAPD headquarters and LAPD housing, I guess.
Yeah, just kind of put everybody kind of in a similar spot. Even though this, I feel like this screen's really just kind of gives you like the, there's obviously, close-up maps for where you go and whatnot.
Yeah.
So this screen won't get used much. Just kind of, you could kind of say like, oh, we're going to go here and check this out.
Yep.
Okay. So let's set this up. So we got, I'm going to move Oilson out of the way because I might bring her in for use. If not, I'll just keep her kind of on the side.
Yeah, since you pronounce it that way, all I keep thinking is oil can. Oil can.
Well, I looked it up. I'm like, how is that? It's not Olson, really. And I looked it up, and it's kind of like, I think anyway, the closest thing was like Oilson.
Nice.
I don't know if it's like supposed to be like Danish or a mix of
oil
can.
can.
The thing too, you could have like a mix of, and Zeb might be the only one that might remember. If you watch the movie, there's like a mix of a bunch of different languages. It's kind of like called city speak, where it's a mix of like Hungarian, China. I think they try to do Hungarian a little bit, technically Hungarian in the movie, but it's like a mix of a bunch of different. It could be English mixed in with Chinese, mixed in with this, and it's kind of like your thieves, like it's called city speak, where there's slang and stuff, and you guys all kind of know it.
It's like a bunch of different cultures have converged in like one place, and like it's been like that for 50, 70 years.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Okay, so let's give, even though I'm going to show, it'd be nice just to like only show this to this person, but I feel like that's a waste of time. So I'll just read the little background thing and I'll get handouts for you guys to check out. All right, Los Angeles, May 2037. Toxic rain is pouring down over the city where gigantic buildings dwarf ancient skyscrapers. Lights from huge billboards flash along the streets and wipe across the crowds of pedestrians in Sector 5, Little Tokyo District. The White Dragon Noodle Bar is crowded with customers, sitting on stools slurping their food out of bowls. Veteran Blade Runner Willem Novak is among them, enjoying a few days of hard-earned rest and reading today's Independent Sentinel newspaper, which I will, let me know if you could, I'm just going to show it to everybody.
Damn.
And there will be some clues on this paper, so you definitely want to check it out. You should be able to, hopefully you could. I want to say you could hover over the newspaper and it'll zoom in on it and whatnot.
Well, what I can do is I can just pop it out. And this is what I've been doing with the other things. I can pop it out and then just share that tab that's popped out.
Oh, okay, cool.
Allows it to be a little larger, even though I can't actually make it larger.
Right.
Let me see. I might be able to do more. But go on. Yeah. So we got the newspaper.
Yeah, so you're reading through the newspaper. There are some actual things you'd want to pick up on here. For later use, it definitely would be important. Okay, you're reading the newspaper, and then we got Fenna as Randy, correct?
Yes.
All right. Even though everybody gets to see this is given to you. Oh, you got the thing up. I don't know if you could see it. Let me know if you could see that handout that just came in.
Yeah, I can see it.
All right. And that's for your character, Randy Fenna?
The newspaper is, or
no, the other handout just came out.
I still have that thing.
Should be your orders issued by Deputy Chief David Holden.
That one.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're trying to click off the paper. There it is. Okay, got it.
So I've noticed, by the way, in order to see it nicely, there's two things you got to do, or at least two things I did. Click to pop it open in a new tab, and then click on the link itself, and it actually opens it in another new tab, but it opens fully big and easy to read.
I know when I do the show it, well, at least on mine, if I hover over it, it'll give me like a magnifying glass I can click, and it blows it up. But I don't know how it looks on your screen when you do that.
Well, for me, at least,
so your version might be better.
It's going to be larger on the map screen. If I pop it out to a separate tab, I can share only that tab and resize that one, so it makes it a little easier.
Gotcha. No worries.
That's cool. Bring him in for emergency briefing. Better than emergency debriefing.
Well, I mean, that's later, right? That's afterwards.
A bunch of kids.
And I know there's a little bit of like kind of a description, like because there's a picture of the character that came with it. But if you want to change anything, like Zeb, if you want to make Willem look a certain way, or Randy, if you want Fenna to look a certain way that's a little bit different than the little, the avatar, then definitely go ahead and say that now,
No,
kind of thing.
You say that they wear street clothes, even though they're issued orders from the chief of police or deputy chief.
No, so Blade Runners would be like undercover cops, basically, right? You guys, because there's definitely beat cops on the street that have like body armor on, mask, maybe shields. That's a cop. You guys show up. Now, normally you should flash your badge if you need to interact with somebody, but most of the time you could fit in. You could wear super fancy clothes or like dirty street clothes, depending on what you want to do when you're out working a case, right? So you guys won't wear heavy body armor, but there is like kind of like a under the shirt kind of armor you can get that would be like low end.
Okay.
But that's like you guys don't look like cops unless you guys smell like cops. If you act a certain way, right?
For sure. Okay.
So
well,
who does this order go to? I'm sorry, you said
that goes to Brandy's character. So.
That goes. Yeah, Fenna. Okay. So let's just say Fenna is wearing just like a white blouse and like blue jeans with like some black boots, like small ankle boots or whatever. You know what I'm talking about? Those like.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm guessing they're all strapped, so the gun's tucked away.
Yeah, and obviously easier if you have like a jacket or something to cover, but you could technically put it underneath the blouse, right? You could hide stuff there because these pistols aren't ginormous. I think everybody either has one or the other.
Okay. We could say she has like a little vest jacket thing on it too. I don't know how that clashes with the blouse, but we'll just go with that.
Yeah, totally.
And it'll be tucked in the band of her belt. Okay.
All right, so Willem, you're hanging out eating noodles, reading your newspaper.
Yep.
And you hear behind you like you notice the sound of that detective spinner that you know too well landing in the background. And Fenna, you enter the scene.
William Novak.
Yes. How are you?
I'm doing well. I am Fenna, and we need to. I need to bring you in.
Me?
We have an emergency briefing.
Sounds pretty serious.
Okay. At least let me finish my newspaper.
It is an emergency briefing. We do have to get going.
Fine, I'll read it in the car, but if I get car sick, it's on your hands.
And the car.
I prefer limp noodle and go to the police station.
Better my hands than my boots.
Wait, what is that supposed to mean?
All right. That's what I thought to myself. I was like, oh, okay.
Because you can wash your hands. Boots get a scrub. Okay.
All right.
Wash them.
Wash those. Okay.
All right, you head back to LAPD. When you get there, you're Percival. You're already in the room with Deputy Chief Holden, and Zeb might only remember Holden's the guy that got blasted in the chest from Leon Kowalski in the beginning of the first Blade Runner movie. He's the guy that was giving the interview and he got blasted. He survived, obviously, but he has synthetic lungs, and his nickname is Iron Lung because he's got fake lungs. But he's in charge now since the last guy retired.
Chief, I brought in Novak.
Oh. All right, sit down.
Hey, Percival.
Hey, it's about time. Was he at the limp noodle again?
No, he's off of near the streets of Sector 5, like we expected.
Yeah, where he always is, right?
Where he always can be found.
I sit down, I don't say anything, and I light a cigarette.
He was at a bar called the Loose Caboose.
Yeah, he's actually smoking too, even though he's got fake lungs, but he don't give a shit.
Well, of course, why would you? You don't care at that point, right?
Yeah, we have an urgent situation. Last night there was a shooting in Sector 1, a place called the Snake Pit on Nightclub Row. 2 Nexus 9 Blade Runners were there. Serial numbers LH3793 and SN9148. Code names Leah and Sandor. Maybe you've seen them around. Anyway, Sandor was shot dead, and Leah is now missing. We have no idea where she is. Let me give you guys some more information here. Let me know if these come through.
Where was Sandra's body found?
I'll get to it. Let me know if both those handouts came through.
I
There should be
see
two of them.
them.
All right.
Let me go ahead. Sorry. I can show them a little bit here.
Yeah, no worries. They went to the snake pit to investigate suspected Nexus 8 activity, but we don't know if that's what triggered the shooting. According to local cops at the scene, witnesses said there were human supremacist jerks at the snake pit last night. Maybe that had something to do with it. We just don't know. I guess we'll read it about in that sleazy tabloid Kill magazine tomorrow. You need to figure this out and fast. I have the brass breathing down my neck on this. Of course he does, right? As you know, the Nexus 9 replicants were approved for use on Earth just last year, and mistrust against the reps is running high. If someone out there is killing and kidnapping Nexus 9s, we need to find them and stop them fast. Add to that, the Wallace Corporation is pushing us hard on this. Their business depends on this new breed of replicants, and anything that jeopardizes that bottom line is no bueno. They're letting us run this investigation, but they have offered their assistance. Their PR manager, Quell, is expecting you at Wallace Corp headquarters to tell you more about Leah. Play nice with them. I mean it.
Now, is this the guy that he said was?
That's the guy that got shot, and the other girl's missing. These are both Blade Runners.
No, shot and killed, or just shot?
No, he got killed. Yeah.
Okay. So this one's kind of just part of the briefing to know who it was.
Yeah, right.
I thought Lee was missing and Sandra was dead.
Yes, that's correct. Leah is missing. Sandra is dead.
Okay.
So this is the one, Leah. And when I say this is one, I'm referring to what I'm sharing.
Oh, okay.
Just so you know. But yeah, Leah is the one that we are. And we see all this, so like we know it's a combat recon.
Yep. Yeah, you got like their profile, their dossier as
it's their MySpace.
Yeah, that's their MySpace and Facebook. You can play this any way you like. Split up to cover more ground if you need to. I don't care as long as I get results and fast. You have the full resources of the Rep Detect unit at your disposal. Sanders' body is being processed down in the crime lab right now. Of course, you can check the LPD mainframe for personnel files on both of them and any Esper footage of the snake pit last night. Maybe you'll get lucky. I've uploaded to your KIA all relevant information that we have so far. Now get out of here.
All right, let's go to the courthouse.
As we leave, I nudge. No, what the hell's your character's name, Randy?
Fina.
Yeah, maybe update your little thing there so people know what's what. Fena.
I nudge Fena. I'm like, I don't think the Kill magazine is sleazy.
He's like got the lifetime subscription, even though he's got all
good information in there.
Yeah, so that's the thing. So Kill magazine, while it's kind of like your Inquirer, they do post truths, right? There will be some truth, but yeah, right, yeah, totally. So that's how Kill magazine is. And the Wallace Corporation is basically they took over from Tyrell, who originally did Replicants.
Okay.
So, what do the Blade Runners want to do?
Where did you say it was again?
So the shooting happened at the Snake Pit, which is in Nightclub Row, so it'd be kind of northwest of you guys, and then there's bodies coming to the crime lab, which is in the building you're in. You can check the mainframe for information. You can check it's called the Esper wall. It's kind of like this big wall of monitors that there's basically surveillance on the entire city, mostly just outside of buildings though. It's not forced, right? It's just public, right? Video. So if a location has its own video feed, you're not going to get that from the Esper wall.
Can you, Chris? Is it indicated on the big map somewhere?
The Snake Pit? You said the Snake Pit? Is that what you're talking about, or what?
The place that we're headed first, I guess.
It depends where you want to go. You can either go to the Snake Pit. You could check out Leah's apartment. You can go to Wallace headquarters. You could just check the crime. You go down the crime lab and see what's up with the body. And I think you could just check the mainframe to see for some more information or any images that might be available, like Esper images and all that kind of stuff.
Well, I'm going to play it as Percival's not much of a leader. He's going to wait for someone else to make a decision. But where I was getting at was if there's a place on the map that you want us to see, if you right click it and focus ping, it will move my map to that spot.
Yeah, so it really depends what you guys want to do. Now, I'll
Exactly.
ping whatever you
I'm
want.
cool with that. I just wanted to make sure I was displaying the right thing. And
Yeah, no, I haven't moved. I haven't moved the board. Obviously, there's more maps than this, but I will pick whatever you guys want to go to if there's a required map for that. Some stuff won't be, you know.
This is gonna be like my first real case.
Yeah, totally.
So
that's Percival, right? That's important for you. You're normally the crime lab guy, but this is like, man, I get to go out on the streets now. This is a big deal, you know.
You get to see firsthand that crap they keep sending back to the lab.
Well, you did say that there were bodies coming back to the lab, though, right?
Right. Sanders' body is being processed right now, so you could always go down to the lab and like, what's up?
Well, then I think Joe should go back to
Percival's got to do that quickly. Yeah. He wants to get back out on the street, but he knows he's the best one to handle the stuff in the lab. So,
and then you said the mainframe it's in the LAPD office building, right?
Yep. So that's in the building. So that would be like to go check out. You get more personnel files on the character on Leah or Sandor, and then you could check the Esper database if there's any like video someplace. You know.
Yeah, that's where I'm going to go. I'm going to go look at the mainframe.
All right, Fenna, what do you want to do? And you could tag along with any of these people, or you could just do your own thing. It's whatever.
Do we want to split the party?
These people.
Yeah, that's kind of weird, right?
Maybe we'll hear more stuff together. So let's stick together.
Well, I think Willem's going to you're going to go check out the database, and then Percival's going down to the crime lab looking.
Oh, they already decided to separate. Okay, I missed that part. I was checking over.
Check out the bodies.
Okay,
maybe go with old Percival, because it might be good to have two eyes on that. And I'm really just reading articles, which I can just share with you guys later.
Okay, that's fine with me.
Now the systems we have, the computer systems that you said get us communication to and from. Like, if we find something, can we share it with each other instantly, or do we?
Yeah, they would. Yeah. So it doesn't automatically upload to the database, but it automatically downloads, because you could technically like, oh, I don't know if I want to share this with the LAPD yet, because you might be doing some. You know, Blade Runners will do some like, they'll skirt the law to get certain things done. Right. So I won't assume you're going to upload everything unless you say, I want to upload everything. I don't give a shit. And then everybody else will automatically know right then, they'll have data available.
But like, if I go check the body, I could immediately call them and say he was killed by a Nerf gun or something. Right?
Yeah. Or you could just assume like, hey, I'm uploading any information on the body. Well, that stuff would get uploaded anyway, because the guy doing the autopsy is just going to put it into the database.
He's not as good as me though.
That's true. Right. So. Yeah. That's the other thing too. Using you could use the database from your little devices, but if you're at the actual LAPD, you get an advantage on your roll, to do a search for information.
Yeah. I definitely will have a superiority complex in the lab and an inferiority complex outside of the lab. So I go in the lab and just immediately take over. All right, everybody, I'm here. Let me at the body. Let me see Sanders.
You're going down to the crime lab.
Yeah, wherever the body's being processed.
Yeah, it's at in the crime lab at morgue, it's called the Replicant Intelligence Technology Division, RIT, of the LAPD. Towers is like a huge. It's called the Tower, like the LAPD building. It's pretty huge. The chief medical examiner Coco is here, which let's see. I'll show you guys.
I've had to critique his style more than once.
Joe, I just realized that this is the best time for you to have the AI eye contact.
Oh, yeah.
And it's the perfect character for it.
What is it?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, that software I have with my camera where I could it would make it look like I'm looking at the camera all the time.
Where's Coco? There he is.
Coco?
Did he show up on the screen for you guys?
Boom! Yeah, there's Coco. Hey, Coco.
That's Coco. Oh, you can move him around. That's pretty slick.
Mr. Coco, share this tab instead. Okay, Coco. Oh, he just got twisted.
Yeah, we can all move him.
Nice.
Oh, wow, you can spin him around too. That's fancy. I didn't even know that. Okay, Coco is down in the crime lab looking over the body. You can always ask him questions, like some stuff.
All right, Coco, what have you found so far? What do I need to fix?
I think you might need to make a medical aid roll.
I can do that, I think. Coco. Medical aid. Bam. Ooh. Medical aid is a 1 and an 11. So
yeah, but you got 2 successes. That's pretty. See, even though you like super failed on one, you like crushed it on the other one.
Super.
Technically, you would have had well, I mean, never mind. Well, actually, you have medical skills, right? Don't you? You got? But you get advantage or bonus on. I can't remember.
Yeah, well, medical is a B for me, and everything else under intelligence is an A, so I'm pretty good there.
Yeah, I think you had like a specialty there that gives you bonus on certain things that are kind of techie related. I can't remember.
I believe you.
All right, so it's obvious that he has a large hole in his chest, but you could figure out that he was shot point blank with a large caliber weapon, and it went whatever he shot with went right through him. But I would say he was shot. The big hole in his chest. So I would say he was shot in the back. Right, there's a smaller entry wound in the back. Chest gets blown out, but it looked like there's burn marks on his back, so it looks like it was point blank. Like whoever was shot him was like really close to him. Blew out his chest. But the bullet has not been recovered.
So it looks like it was from a bullet, not an energy weapon. I mean, there are energy weapons, right?
Well, there's sonic stuff.
Sonic.
Yeah, so there's mostly like the same kind. So there's either like even like I think Willems has 3 different things. It has like a rifle round it could take. It has like the 44 mag shot. Then it has like the sonic version, which would be like the non-lethal for that gun. So it definitely looks like it was like a large caliber round that went through this guy's chest.
Again, real fast. Wasn't this Sandra who was killed?
Sander, yep, Sander.
Or Sandra. Okay.
Sanders.
Okay.
Sanders.
Okay.
Anything else I can determine about I don't know, what the body was doing when he was shot or anything like that?
No, nothing weird like that.
Okay.
Yeah, the bonus you got, you could definitely tell it's like point blank range from the in the back, blew his chest out.
Okay.
So that's a bummer, man.
So I would assume that information is something that's already in the database. I'm not really finding anything new.
Oh, that was getting put into the database just now.
Okay.
Yeah, he's just examining the body because it just came.
So,
even though this happened last night in kind of like the wee hours of the morning last night, kind of thing.
Okay.
So, Coco, is there anything weird about this body?
No, standard Nexus 9. Got a chest blown out by something big.
Haven't discovered anything unique? Okay.
Not cool.
Just making sure it was the exact... Well, we know that was the cause of death, but if there was anything extra that we could find out.
Understood. Let me know if you guys get any more information or you need me to track anything down.
Randy, can you change your name in StreamYard so you're not...
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I can.
I just realized I hadn't put it. Zeb put his, and then I realized when I looked at your name, I'm like, you're not Dirk.
I'm Fenna playing Dirk.
You ain't no Dirk.
I'm gotta find the set there.
I'm Percival.
Okay, so Willem's going down to the mainframe. Anything specific you wanted to look at first?
There we are. Okay.
You said the espers are like they're like surveillance footages, right?
Yeah, so the esper wall has the like video surveillance of the city basically. Mm-hmm. I think Holden mentioned like, maybe you can pick up something from like the snake pit, action.
Yeah, if you have anything from the time of the shooting in and outside of the snake pit.
Okay. Get to see this.
Ooh.
Now, the way Esper works, and Zeb, you might remember this from the original movie where Harrison's Ford character like zooms in and like pans around the room almost. Yeah. So Esper cameras almost take like a 360 three-dimensional shot. So you could even try to for this you would make a tech roll. Which one you're to try to enhance the photo, because you can't really see much on this, but you could try to look around on your own. So you can try to enhance it to get a better idea of what you're looking at.
Might as well. I mean, I'm not great in tech, but I might as well give it a shot.
You're telling me I hired you. I know.
Hey, one success is all you need. Pretty slick.
Yep, that sounds like my whole IT career.
So you're able to zoom in. I don't know if you can see on the original picture. You kind of see there's a cab way in the background there, kind of like almost upper right. There's a little picture of a cab. It looks like it could be Leah, and then if you get your little enhancement, making a good tech roll, you'll see the enhanced picture, and it definitely you can definitely see that's Leah getting into a metro cab, and you can see some like the serial number on the metro cab itself.
I'm going to make a note of that.
Oh, it's got barcode.
Yep.
Enhanced.
All right. Is there anything else database wise on these guys, or is it just, do we just have the profile that you showed?
Yeah, you can get like a little bit of a personnel report on Leah from the database.
Sure.
So that should be coming up on your screen now.
That's different from what we had seen already then.
Yeah, I think you got just like a basic stat, maybe an address on the original one. This one gives you a little bit of performance report and whatnot.
Okay.
Oh, I see some baseline failures.
Yeah, and then a suspension, then a recalibration, and then back to service. And I want to say the newspaper, what was it, the 17th or something on it, maybe, I think. I recall correctly.
Almost forgot about the newspaper.
Yeah, it is May 19th.
19th, yeah, so that's like yesterday, I think, or might not today's paper. I think it's the 9th, so it's the 19th. So she was just, if you look at her personnel report, she hasn't been back to work like 10 days or something like that.
Now, if it was tomorrow's paper, we're playing a totally different game.
Yeah.
All right, interesting. Is there anything on the dead guy, Sandor?
Nothing of note.
Okay.
Kind of like the same things. All replicants have only been working for a year, but no issues though. He hasn't had any baseline failures or any recalibrations or anything like that.
When they go through recalibration, does that do like a full memory wipe, or is that just? Do you know?
I wouldn't say it's a complete wipe. It might be a memory edit.
I get you. Okay.
Yep.
Might change some things around a little bit.
Yeah.
Cool. I can't remember if there's anything else that I could look up from the mainframe.
I mean, it's like anything you could think of, but some stuff you might not have yet, right? To really dig into the mainframe yet.
Can I look up that cab serial number?
Yeah, you can make a connections roll.
You said connections. Yeah, let's give it a shot. Oh, scraping by on that one.
Yeah, so you know where the MetroCab dispatch is located, and you have to go down there to ask around to see what's up.
Okay. All right. I'm trying to think of anything else. There wasn't any Esper. That was the only Esper.
Yep.
Worth note. Okay.
Well, you could probably find one for. No, that was the one for the snake bit. Yeah, that's right. Yep. That's correct.
All right. Can I pull up profiles on any other people? Like if I just throw out random names.
I mean, sure. Yeah. Whatever you want.
Can I pull up the I'm trying to see the VP of the Wallace Corp.
The only thing you'll get is the name L, VP of
okay. All right.
I think she's kind of like the PR manager kind of thing.
Do they have anything on
and then the only thing you might know too, just kind of knowing a lot of the C-level people at Wallace Corp are replicants. You know that, which is kind of odd.
Right,
now the owner isn't.
Right.
Neander Wallace, he's not a replicant. He's human. And he's blind too. So, but he's got, guy's kind of a weirdo. But a lot of the C-level people are replicants. So they're all about pushing the replicant thing there at Wallace Corporation.
All right. I think we can just call it for now, and I will move on from.
All right, bye, Zeb. Have a good. No, just kidding.
Willem.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you guys did the crime lab, hit the mainframe, got
There was
the
a
image.
Quell we were supposed to talk to.
Yeah, so you guys have options to go. And I would say this would take up most of the morning shift.
Yeah.
So you guys have, options now to go to which everybody would get. I would get everybody. You guys, everybody got clues, even though Fenna was kind of like tagging along. Everybody can get a promotion point up for getting some information.
Cool.
So we just go onto our character sheet and click the next
add it
number.
on. Normally it would be like after a session, but I kind of want to. You guys have stuff to use for later, just in case.
Okay.
Things go bad, kind of thing.
Mine was already sitting on 1. Do I move it to 2, or was
Yep,
that
move it up. Move it up to 2. Yeah,
Okay.
that stuff you could use up, or you can get demoted. Right, they can cost you a promotion point for like doing something bad, right?
Awesome.
Especially with the public.
Right, so I just go around swinging.
Yeah. So I guess the options would be: you guys still can go to the Snake Pit, you can go to Wallace Corp, you can go to Leah's apartment. Check Metro Cab, I think, is one of the other options. You found a clue.
I think the next one in the area is talking to Quell before we end up leaving the sector. What sector are we in right now, anyway?
You guys are in Sector 5.
Oh, so he was vacationing 5 when I found him, so he wasn't that far. Okay.
Yeah, he was like pretty close to the LAPD.
Yeah, I was like, well, what a vacation, right?
And there is, if you notice, there's LAPD housing. Not saying you have to, but there's, you kind of get like a paid for, public housing, like a decent apartment. Like you're not above the 100th floor, you're not with the Richies, but you're not on the complete bottom either,
Novak has 2 apartments like across the street, and he just has a ladder. He pushes it over, goes over there. They'll never find me.
Yeah. This is my vacation home.
I bet the entirety of floor 99 is a fire suppression system. There's no way they're getting burned out up there. Right?
How is everybody at communicating? It would if you're grilling somebody, what role is that?
Manipulation is my highest as far as communication. Insight's a B, and then I have a D in connections, unfortunately.
Okay.
I can't remember if anybody has a speciality or not on any of those.
Yeah, my manipulation is a duh.
I'm just trying to think of who should go to the taxi like depot, and who should go to her apartment.
Because it sounds like investigation to me, I would be compelled to go to the apartment. It seems like there'd be more lab work kind of stuff, looking around for clues.
Yeah.
So I think Percival would head to the apartment.
Oh man, Fenna's got that good manipulation.
Yeah, I think maybe
probably get to the cab
to the cab place, and then I'll tag along with Percival to her apartment. Or no, you know what? I'll go to the Snake Pit. How about that?
All right, sure.
Snaky.
Okay, Novak, got it. Heading to the cab now.
All right, where's Percival going?
To her apartment, to Leah's apartment.
Okay. Cool.
It's what's the address? 21 Hanvid Street.
So Leah is going to Han Solo Street. Go figure.
Han Solo Street. Do it.
I'm gonna bring my Obi-Wan because it's her only hope.
I think I got a map for the apartment. We'll do apartment first. Oh, is that the right apartment? Hanved apartment 52, right?
Just be on your guard.
Now you're asking all these crazy questions, Crash.
Well, I gotta zoom out on that one. That's crazy talk. Jeez.
Her name address was 21 Hanved Street. It didn't actually have like an apartment or anything.
Okay.
No, I didn't say an apartment number. It just says.
Did it change the map for you guys or no? I gotta.
Not yet. You gotta drag
the thing over. I gotta drag the little bookmark thing. I think
it's just that you said that there was the time limit, so I'm sort of treating this like I don't know if any of you guys have played like Arkham Horror, where it's like every turn essentially is like, oh, the timer is ticking, and like
yeah. I'm familiar with that kind of game, but I had not played Arkham Horror. But yeah. So Chris,
yeah, we got the weird issue now if no one can see anything, or I gotta put the characters on here maybe.
Let me zoom to fit, and I have black screen.
I have black screen as well.
Of course, it never works out. Like I thought I had this set to them. I'm gonna make sure these work, man.
No, you need to make like 87 like light guys, and then we can
Yeah,
go see some.
exactly. You needed a little token to represent a torch and drag it around.
All
There
right.
we go.
Hey,
Turn on dynamic lighting off. Don't need it anyway. There's nothing like that needs to be hidden for this stuff, you know.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so it was just Percival going.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So you've never seen the? Has anybody seen the newer movie, Blade Runner 2049?
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I said you weren't going. I thought you said you were going with him.
No, I'm going to the snake pit. I changed my mind at the
Yeah.
last second.
Three-way split.
Yep.
So I mean, all these apartments. This is the LAPD housing. So all the apartments look the same. It's kind of like the Agent K in the Blade Runner 2049 film. So this is on the 13th floor. All right, so the elevator's out of order and the stairwell's filthy and covered in graffiti. When you're climbing the stairs, you kind of have to push back past some residents, and people are giving you like angry stares and whatnot. And there, you might even see like tents in the hallway, people just living in the hallway too.
Now, Joe doesn't know this, but would Percival know? Is this the right time to flash your badge or no?
No.
Okay.
Only if you have to specifically interact with somebody.
Okay. I didn't know if it helped with people being rude.
Is my audio weird, or is it fine?
It's okay overall. For me, it keeps crackling sometimes.
Yeah, I'm getting the crackling as well.
Yeah.
I
I can still understand you though.
I've understood 99% of what you said.
Same.
That's pretty good.
Well, the good thing is, aside from that 1% that I didn't understand, there's plenty that I'm not comprehending because of the environment.
Well, that could be good
It's
too.
almost insignificant that I couldn't hear a word or two.
Yeah, that could be fun actually.
Yeah.
So you're walking the hallway getting mean mugged.
It looks like there's just one entrance.
I don't know why it doesn't have the. Why didn't it keep your name on there though? It's kind of weird.
If you dragged it from the journal or that spot over there, and when you made modifications, if you made modifications to the tokens that were on the screen and did not update the original token,
the
source,
Anyway. All right.
I can't move it any farther to the left. I don't know why.
Does it consider it a wall there? Maybe. No,
I don't know. It won't let me move it down or to the left anymore. Oh well. Anyway, I'm there.
That's really. I can move you down.
Let me see if I can. There we go. Up and around.
Weird. Anyway, okay. When you get to the door, you see the word "skin job" or sprayed, like spray painted on the door.
Oh, so you'd be right down there.
And there's a large burly man who stinks of cheap whiskey. He comes up. Are you friend of that skin job?
Do I know what he's talking about?
Skin job is slang for replicant.
Oh, so I'm here for the yes. And I will be that awkward. Yes.
Well, you're not welcome here. Are you skin job too? Kind of puts his finger in your face.
Is that a problem?
Yeah, I don't like skin jobs
then
here.
No, I am not.
Okay then.
Better not be.
He's like just drunk, total jerk, you know. All right, Percival, you're at Leah's door, staring at the word "skin job."
Some guy breathing on you.
Well, she hasn't been seen, so I'm just going to try and open the door and go in.
It's locked.
It's locked. I will unlock it.
You could either be a tech roll to kind of pick the electronic lock, or you could try to force it open.
I'm good at tech, bro.
All right, tech it up.
I got that big old A there. Let's see what happens when I click the dang thing, though.
Yep.
One success is all you need. Very nice. Let me get you a little. Oh, come on.
And I mumble, could a skin thing do that? Ha ha.
So the door on the right we're looking at is the door you just entered.
Yeah, so technically, if you look all the way down, like at the very end, that's the door you came through, right?
Yeah, right there.
I mean, obviously, you can tell by the map. So to the left of that is the kitchen, then the shower, and then like in the living space, right where you're at. So anything you see on here is technically a clue. You can ask me about anything that's on this picture. Basically, it's a pretty barren apartment, similar to what you would live in. Not much here besides There's obviously some pictures. Looks like there's some kitchen might have some empty vodka bottles. Definitely like a lot of vodka bottles, actually. But you might think is, looks like there's some, plates left around.
I feel like I stumbled into Willem's apartment.
Random stuff.
Vodka. So my eye is immediately drawn to, there are 2 books lying open. And I'd be curious what they are and if there appears to be anything significant to the point that 2 books are lying open in the apartment.
Yeah. So on one table, there's a book lying open, section of poems by William Book, and the poem.
See, we just talked about the crackling, and it just came back full force and did not hear a word you just said.
Yeah,
one on your coffee table, one on the middle table, and a closed book on the lip over there.
Yeah. So I just shared out another handout. It's the works
Tiger.
of William Blake, and the book is actually open to this page, The Tiger, a poem called The Tiger.
Okay. So there's a burning tiger. Cool.
Yep.
Okay. And you said there were 2 or 1?
Well, that's the book. That's the book that's open on the table. That's like right up front.
Okay.
There might be some just like magazines or newspapers, things like that as well. And there's a lot of vodka bottles.
Nice. Do I have the facilities on me or the ability to check for fingerprints and see if they match her fingerprints on the bottle?
You can definitely run it through your KIA, and it would come back that it's hers.
Because that's what that I'm immediately just thinking, what would you want to process at the scene? And
do replicants even feel the effects of alcohol and stuff like that?
Yeah, it's the same. They're, like I said, obviously they're androids, but they're pretty much humans. They're just synthetic humans.
So on this book that's open, there's like no marks or anything on the page that it was significant for some reason or anything.
No, but if you examine the book further, you'll notice that one page has been torn out.
Oh. Access database of books. What was the page that was torn out?
Well, it might depend on the ISBN number and whatnot. What version, what year the book and all that. Might take you a little bit to figure that out.
That's my job, dude. That's what I do. It's okay to
you
say.
You won't have that information yet.
Yeah. Working on it.
I'm working on it, man.
Okay, cool.
Anything else specifically in that picture you want to point out? If not, I could,
Yeah, I would want to look at. Oh, clicking all over the place here. I would want to look at. So there was the food. It looks to me like there's foodstuffs in different spots. Can I see? Was this a sloppy person, or was there more than one person eating?
No, it looks like very little food. Even though there's a couple plates left out, but yeah, it looks like one person.
Okay. And then the last thing was, like you mentioned, the pictures. I see the one picture over there. Are there any pictures of people other than herself? And am I able to look up who they are?
Yeah. So there's one picture you see.
Okay.
So on the nightstand next to the bed is a photo showing a dark-haired child. Looks similar to Leah.
Okay.
Interesting.
And can I run that through and see who it comes back as?
Yeah, you run it through, and it doesn't show up as anybody at all in the database.
How unusual is that?
Yeah, it kind of doesn't make sense to you. You would think like that should come back as somebody, I would assume. Also on the back of the photo, which might be hard to see on that, you might have to zoom in on the back.
Oh yeah, I closed it already because I thought it was just a white blank.
Oh, I see. It's his
Doc. Well, besides the handout spot, but there's a little like watermark on the lower right.
Oh yeah,
it says Doc Badger on it.
Doc Badger. Okay.
That doesn't necessarily mean anything to you right now. You'd have to well, you could probably make a connections roll to see if you could figure out what that means.
I'm going to make that roll and expect to fail that roll. Let's see. I gotta move handout because the handout's open in all the windows. All right. So connections, you said?
Yep.
Connect. That's that button.
Oh,
2
close.
5s. That's got to mean something. I matched.
Yeah, you could push it if you want. Do you want to push it?
Fuck yeah.
Oh man, you could push twice because you're a replicant.
But I can't because I cannot read the properties of undefined.
Oh, let's see if
Can
I
somebody
push
else
it.
click it for me? Like Chris, can you click on that?
Yeah, I get the same error, so I would say just make another connections roll, Joe. That would just be
Okay,
easier.
just another connections roll. I
Yeah.
can do that too. That button.
Ah,
No
All
good.
right. But no critical failure, so no stress for that. You totally like, none of my guys have heard of this dog badger or whatever that is. You got nothing on it.
it's on the
And
tip of your
technically, you could take that back to the mainframe and ask at the mainframe, like, all right, do a search for dog badger kind of thing.
It's just a badger who thinks he's a doctor. It's weird.
Right. And then if you want to bring up that photo again, Joe, just point it out because this would be something you would notice, obviously, if you're looking around the room.
I was
The
going to
one
say that it's a
See the apartment shot
and like I said,
should be
crime scene. Leah's apartment. K. I think it was K.
Yeah.
Yes, got it.
So in that, like, on the back left of the room there, you kind of see looks like a jar with something in it.
Where that light is, yeah.
Yeah, you see butterflies, kind of like these psychedelic looking butterflies in here.
Nice.
And obviously, they're synthetic. There's, like, anything real is very expensive and very rare, especially any kind of insects or pets. Not that it's impossible to have those, but you'd be super rich if you had stuff like that. You could try to make a connections roll on this. This would probably be even harder, though, to pull off.
Which is a sure sign that I will roll even better, right? I mean, come on now. Let's see. No, that's a 0 again. 4 and a 2.
So it doesn't come up. You're not really sure. Obviously, because anything that's synthetic like this is made usually by specific people in certain part of town. Like usually people are like, I'm the butterfly person, I'm the snake person, I'm the goat person, I'm the dog. You know.
All right. So I think I get what the connections role is then, trying to literally connect it to something else in the world.
Yeah, it's kind of like you might check through your people, or like, my street guy that he knows somebody does butterflies. You're coming up with like, I don't get out of the freaking crime lab, man. I don't know anybody.
Nobody sends me butterflies.
Yeah. Now this is all stuff you can go back to Coco. I'm like, hey man, can you run this through the database? You got anything? Or you can always ask around other people too. And don't forget, like any clue you've picked up, whether it's the newspaper, any pictures, or any other information, there could be things on there too to go back to later.
Yeah, because I definitely noticed something. I won't bring it up yet, but that newspaper is helping out.
All right, hold on.
Yeah, I think that's it for the apartment.
I'm gonna go to read the today's newspaper while we switch over to the next.
Yeah, totally. I'll just go down the list here. Zeb to the snake pit, right?
Yeah, I went to the snake pit. It's at the bottom, Joe.
I'm not going to tell you what it is, but at the bottom.
Yeah.
Oh, it's this chess game. That must be what you're talking about.
Totally.
I'm not the brightest.
All right, I might have to check the dynamic lighting on this thing too. I'll turn it.
I won't share that one yet. Then. Oh no, I can. Bam! I can see.
I'm assuming it's gonna work, right?
Yeah.
So crazy.
What? The snake pit.
Trying to get this stuff out of the way. I gotta put. So who's here? Willem Novak. Stick him in the entrance. Wow, he's tiny.
It's a big place. Okay.
He's just a little guy.
He's a little guy.
Here's your little baby.
All right. This club is infamous for its strong drinks and 5-star entertainment and sordid history. Back in 2019, one of their performers was retired on the street, later revealed as a fugitive Nexus 6 conspirator behind the infamous 2019 Tyrell Corporation murder spree. Owner Tad Lewis spun the infamy into free publicity, turning the sultry club into a sensation. The pit still attracts the best stage performers around, mostly because half the audience works at nearby agencies. So when you arrive here, Willem, are you landing pretty close to the place? You're going to land a block away? How do you want to run this? I mean, your car doesn't look like a police car, but it's a pretty nice looking spinner. It's just undercover.
Yeah, I'd probably keep some distance and just take a small walk to the.
Okay, no worries. When you arrive there, you can see there's a police line outside. There's a small crowd still hanging around. Like, hey, what's going on, And roll, make an observation check.
Ooh. I'm gonna push it.
Okay.
And when I'm doing the push, I can select either the D12 or the
Or
D8
both.
D12.
Yeah. So you can either push because you didn't fail on either, and you could push both or just one.
All right.
All right. You notice, there's a crowd, but one guy kind of stands out a little bit. He's a little bit taller. This real tall, bald guy. Kind of, I wouldn't say fully like albino, but he's like, man, that guy's pretty pale.
Hey, what's up, Chris?
Just kind of stands out to you. He's definitely not as tan as I am. He just stands out a little bit.
Okay.
While you're walking by, and there's a cop kind of keeping everybody away, like a beat cop, just kind of like managing the scene, making sure nobody comes in, just kind of keeping space. But he doesn't know who you are until you say who you are, right?
Right. I'm gonna go up to the beat cop and flash my badge. Ask him, like what the current situation is. Is there anybody in the place right now? But I'm gonna keep my eye on the tall albino guy.
Okay. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, he's just like, we're waiting for you guys to get here to check this out. We're just trying to keep the scene clean till you guys show up.
Okay. And there's like a small crowd, and that the tall pale guy, is he part of that small crowd?
Yeah, that's outdoors, kind of like looking around, like, oh, what's going on? He just stands out because he's kind of taller than everybody, but he's one of those guys that's kind of really paying attention.
I don't mean to interject here, but I will. For my own remembrance, what was the snake pit? Was this where the guy was shot?
Yes, this was the club that both the Blade Runners went down to kind of see if there was rumors of Nexus 8 activity, and Nexus 8s are kind of like, they're no good, can't trust them. But they have unlimited lifespans. They could keep living as long as a normal human, so they can't really be trusted, kind of thing, and they could possibly cause trouble.
Okay. I guess I would make sure that, knowing that Willem was headed that way, I would make sure Willem knows the status of the body, so that maybe he could look for a projectile or anything there.
Right.
Yep. Yeah, and he would automatically have that because Coco would have uploaded that to the mainframe.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, you going inside, I assume?
Yeah, I'm a little hesitant to confront somebody in front of a bunch of other people.
Yeah, totally understand. That's all good, man.
All right, let's roll initiative.
So inside the pit, there's just another uniformed police officer, kind of making sure nobody gets past, kind of thing. And Taffy Lewis is there, which I'll bring up his mugshot. Where is this guy? There he is. No, that's the wrong. There he is. Okay. Taffy. And a lot of these look like the actors from the movies, and obviously Taffy Lewis was only in the original one, but it does kind of look like an older version of that guy, which is kind of fun.
I'm gonna go say hi to old Laffy Taffy.
Oh, I gotta give you the snake pit picture.
Please have bad jokes. Please have bad jokes.
Oh, wow.
This is a view from the bar, and obviously anything on here could be a clue.
So that's where the band got the name Blood on the Dance Floor.
And remind me what Laffy Taffy is. Is he a?
He's the owner.
Oh, he's the owner of the bar.
Yeah, right. So he's hanging out, like he's like sitting at the bar right now, just kind of hanging. He's kind of like, hey, can I open up? Can you wrap this up, man? I need to open this up. I'm losing money here, man.
All right. Well, then I just brush past him and ignore him.
He's like sitting there drinking, smoking.
Yeah, I'm also smoking a cigarette still this whole time. It's the same one. I'm somehow keeping it alive.
Unlimited.
He's got like 4 inches of ash hanging off the end. He hasn't even flicked it yet.
And I would assume, because it's funny, they do mention like the aliens world is the same as the Blade Runner world, but even like the time's different.
Yeah.
But like the cigarettes and the aliens are non-carcinogenic. You just like, I'm not going to get cancer from this. I don't know about heart disease though, but you never know. You can just get a fake one anyway, right?
Yeah, and I definitely do the Samuel L. Jackson like Jurassic Park, where it's just like hanging barely on my lip.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love it.
All right.
Hanging on the lip, and there's like a long thing of ash just ready to break off any second.
Okay, so first thing I'm going to look at is the mirror, obviously.
Yeah, totally.
It's busted.
Yeah, so you got a large cracked mirror on the wall. I assume you're going to examine closely.
Yes.
Mirror, mirror.
You will find a deformed bullet stuck in the wall behind the mirror.
All
Who's
right.
the
I'm going to
deadest of them
try
all?
my best to pry that out of there, collect as evidence.
Yep, no worries. It's too deformed for you to tell what it is. You'd have to take that back to the lab for Coco to check it out.
Oh,
Cool.
lab.
Cocoa Lab, where he has all of his Cocoa Pebbles.
Yeah.
He's hot cocoa.
Can I examine the blood splatter?
Yeah, a large pool of semi-dry blood is on the floor. You could take a sample, but you would have to take that back to the lab to get it, verified of whose blood it is.
Why
you can
not?
assume you can assume whose it is.
Yeah, yeah. I'll take the sample. What else in here do I want to look at?
You got to find out what that umbrella drink is on the bar.
Yeah, you can definitely tell there's signs of a struggle. There's a bunch of broken bottles and glasses and a bunch of crap everywhere.
I wanted to do the fingerprint scans on a lot of these things like cigarette butts and drinks to see if I can get sort of like a personnel of the crime scene.
Yeah, you probably get a lot of stuff. It might be almost too much, like a lot of noise,
Yep.
Witnesses. Yeah.
Let's see what else.
Are you done yet? Taffy says. Losing money here.
Do they have cameras?
I look at him and then I put the cigarette out on the bar without not putting it in the ashtray.
Nice.
Damn Blade Runners. World.
What about the
Hold up your
stools?
fingers like you're waiting for him to give you another cigarette.
Walking around perpetually like this. What about the bar stools? Can I examine those at all? Like how they're all
nothing worth of note on any of those,
Or what about the broken bottles?
Yeah, it looks like people probably got pushed around and stuff, especially when the shot goes off.
Took off.
Things get crazy, right? People start running stuff. People get knocked over. Total mess.
Getting desperate here. What about like the tablecloth on the bar?
Yeah, nothing out of the ordinary besides what you see on that.
Okay. Then I guess I will grab the umbrella drink, finish it, and go talk to Laffy Taffy.
The Laffy Taffy.
Yeah.
All right. What do you want to ask him about?
I want to know if he has any. If he was here, if he, maybe like some of the people that work at the bar, if he could give me some names for witnesses.
Yeah, I mean, things were going along. People got a hand. Somebody got shot. Can I open up my bar? What's up?
Like, look, man, we gotta. This is gonna take longer than you wanted to, no matter what. So you might as well just cooperate.
Look, man, I didn't see who pulled the trigger. Just some people. Things got out of hand. Yeah, things got rowdy.
What about who was running the bar that night?
I have to check the schedule.
Well, why don't you go do that?
All right, it was Jojo, the idiot monkey boy. He was running the bar last night.
All right, cool. All right, Jojo monkey boy.
It's Coco's
the idiot monkey boy.
It's Coco's twin.
Yes.
He's not here right now, though.
Yeah. What about any additional cameras that maybe he has?
Yeah, he doesn't have any on the inside. He likes to keep things private on purpose.
Okay. Well, can I explore anywhere else in here? Because this is a big place, like these back dressing rooms or on the stage.
I mean, you could definitely look around on the stage. I mean, you might see some broken bottles up there. Anything else though? Like all the action happened right here. Yeah, obviously. You could press him for more info. You can make manipulation rolls.
I mean, that's probably not going to go over so great.
I mean,
Well, I got plenty of promotion points, so might as well just give it a shot, right?
Oh yeah, totally.
Here we go. Oh, and a success.
Oh, okay. And you know, ask him specific things too, right?
Right.
Look, Yeah, there was some of those human supremacist jerks started giving my one of my dancers, Iris, some heat, and I guess people were trying to step in and break it up, and things got sideways. But I think I remember seeing that the guy that runs Kill Magazine, that Gel Schuyler, he was here. He's one of those human supremacist guys starting trouble.
All right, so Kill Magazine and Iris. And what would you say that guy's name was?
Gel Schuyler.
Gel.
Hi, Joe.
All right. Well, do you have
all the people you're finding have food-based names? You got Taffy and Gel, and
do you have like an address of Iris that I could go?
Oh, she's in the back right now.
All right. Well,
still a little shaken up.
I asked you for an address.
Like, I'm 16 years on the force. I really don't play anymore. So I'm gonna just go talk to her.
All right. Iris can be found in her dressing room in the back. She's dressed in a robe, smoking intensely, like she's trying to chain smoke. She's kind of trying to calm herself down still, even though this happened hours ago. Let me bring out the.
I'm sure she's got an extra cigarette for you. Yeah.
6 at once.
There's Iris.
Cool freckles.
Can I bum a cigarette off you? That's the first thing I ask her.
Yeah, she'll she's kind of still a little shaky.
Yeah,
definitely seems like she's still pretty scared.
So I heard you were here last night when everything went down.
Yeah, it was pretty scary.
Did you see anything of interest?
Well, I was just up here dancing like I normally do, and some of those, I don't know, human supremacist jerks, whatever they call themselves, were just trying to jeering and start throwing bottles at me, and I guess people tried to step in and got messy. I don't know. Then a shot happened, and I ran back here.
All right.
If you obviously want more, you got to try to manipulate, right? I'll give you a little bit, but if you want to get specific on certain things, you got to push.
All right, I will. Just as a side note, I wrote down that the human what are they called?
Human supremacists.
Yeah, I wrote down human Nazis.
Nice.
that was my little note.
It's called human Nazi.
I'll do a manipulation. Oh, and unbelievably, I passed again.
Was there anything specific you wanted to ask her?
If she saw any faces that she recognized, if she saw who, maybe even a gender of who had the gun.
Let's see. This thing is really annoying. It keeps jumping pages. Oh man, I'm gonna kill this. I think I saw. I remember the guy, because she saw the person, dead on the floor, kind of thing. I remember seeing him with a girl earlier, drinking at the bar.
Okay.
And watching the crowd. And then I think when the brawl kind of started happening, they kind of moved in to where that was happening. But then the shot was really loud, really loud.
All right.
I don't know what happened, but everybody started running, and then I took off.
I'm struggling to think of things to ask. I'm just having brain farts.
I know I'm not there, but was there only one shot?
Yeah, was there only one shot? Yeah,
it was just super loud.
And that was it, and everybody scattered.
Yeah. Yep.
Is this this is a normal world for just random people to have guns, right?
Not really.
Okay.
It's not. Yeah, most people would not. Law enforcement, military would definitely have weapons. It's not.
So it would be underground people like
you. Yeah, because there's definitely, you could buy stuff on the black market. Normal people can get stuff, but they're more worried about, I need to eat.
I get you. Yeah. Interesting. So the brawl started when they started throwing bottles at her, and then I'm assuming somebody stepped in to stop that. Did she notice who did that, or the reason the brawl got started in the first place?
Make me a manipulation roll.
Another one. All right.
Oh yeah.
Manipulative. Look at that.
I don't know what's going
Oh
on.
man, this guy's
Three in a freaking row, man.
this
That's
one
a
guy.
D.
This bigger guy, kind of pale, bald, stepped in, tried to, get in the way and help out. Kind of defend my honors. To say, so to
I
say.
stop her. I'm like, pale and bald, and then I run outside to see if
You
he's
take off.
He's been
All
on
right.
the force too long. He don't take no guff.
All right, you're back outside.
Is the pale and bald guy there?
Oh yeah, he's kind of he's waiting. It kind of looks like he's waiting around, almost like he's waiting for you.
All right.
Kind of hanging in the crowd.
Then I sort of motion him to the side and see if he takes it.
Yeah, he comes over.
All right.
What's up, boss?
Like, hey man, I heard you were out there trying to stop those human Nazis the other night.
Yeah, man, totally. Those human supremacist jerks. That guy from Kill Magazine was here, starting stuff with Iris, and I'm not going to stand for that. You know what I mean, man?
Yeah, I totally
That's not
get it.
cool. So I got in there and started pushing him around, and all of a sudden the shot rings out, and everybody just goes crazy and tears off running.
All right. And you didn't. Were you close to the shot when it rang off?
I mean, it sounded really loud from where I was at, but
Right.
you.
You didn't happen to know the guy that got shot or anything, did you?
Yeah, the first time I saw him, when I saw him dead on the floor.
All right. Whew. What else do I say?
You can also make insight checks to see if people are lying.
Are lying? Oh.
Yeah. Now, one success will give you kind of like a vibe check on if they're,
Right.
like two successes, like he's definitely,
Yeah, I get you. Okay. Well, why not? I'll give it a shot.
Vibe on the dude.
You can push that one if you want. I think, can you push it? I can't remember.
If I push, yeah. I can just roll. Let's see.
Yeah, just still, okay.
Yep.
Because you can only get D8, so you can still only get one success. You kind of feel like he's not, like he's telling the truth, but he's leaving stuff out.
All right. You come here often?
I put my cigarette out in his eye.
I mean, it's often. I mean, not many places to hang out around. I like seeing Iris and so many other girls dance.
All right. So do you have a close relationship with Iris?
I would say close. I kind of just, I kind of look after the girls here. People kind of pick on them sometimes.
And you're not employed here as like a bodyguard?
No. I mean, people don't like replicants. And I feel like, somebody's got to stick up for those girls.
Right. I understand. What? I don't know, man.
Yeah, I mean, if that's all you got, We can go to Randy so he can get some action.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, we can pause there.
All right.
Yeah, because we could totally take up more stuff with the that guy if need be. All right, where was Randy going?
I was going to the cab.
Yeah, he was gonna go put some pressure on the cabbies.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything for there's no map for Metro cabs, so no worries on that one. I do need to find the Metro club.
And if I didn't already make this clear, I did share the Metro cab number, which is 4R4.
Yep, no worries. Okay, Metro Cab office. The dispatch office is located in the dingy old building in Sector 5, so not too far from where you're working. There's about a dozen or so people that work in the rundown office space. You're greeted by the main Metro Cab dispatcher, Irmgard. Kind of this frumpy-looking older lady. Yeah, what do you want?
I just show the badge immediately. I'm on official business, so
I'm busy dispatching cabs. Look at me.
Yeah, it's actually about one of your cabbies. Actually, I'm looking for cab driver for 4R4.
Make a manipulation roll.
Okay.
Should be pretty easy for Fenna, the smooth talker.
Yeah, I just need to get to it. There we go.
Oop, a success.
Yep. That's all you need. So you get the ID number. Let me check my records. Yeah, this cab left the snake pit late. Dropped the fare off at Anemoid Row shortly after the pickup.
Anemoid Row.
Anemoid Row.
I thought he said anime, bro.
Anime, bro.
At anime, bro.
You need anything else?
You're going to Gen Con. No, wait.
Nice.
Is there any way I can talk to the cab driver?
1 second. Get some on.
Welcome to Johnny Cab.
His name's Earl.
Earl. I love it.
He remembers the fare. It was a young woman.
Yep.
And I remember she had a gun and was very upset. I dropped her off at Anemoid Row. She disappeared into the crowds, though. Didn't really say much.
Had a gun with her. Disappeared in the crowd. Okay. Is there anything else that you could be leaving out? Like, was she saying any names or anything? Or
No, like she barely talked. It was just basically take me here and that's it.
did she leave anything in your cab?
No.
Okay. I found my next spot. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
And your dispatcher should pay you more. She's kind of a bitch.
Hey!
Nice.
So I'm gonna tell the guys about anime, bro, and
Anime bro.
we're gonna head there now.
Yeah.
Or well, she's gonna start heading there now.
All right. I think that would take care of so good morning shift, and that would take care of our afternoon shift. And we could probably wrap that up for the evening, because I think we're pushing close to 10.
Yeah, but we double shifted.
Yeah. So each location takes about a shift's worth of time.
Okay.
Travel and question people and whatnot, upload information, all that. Even though I know technically Willem's still at the snake pit, but we can make a decision on whether he wants to question that guy more by either bringing him in or letting him go, kind of thing. Because I know he thinks he's like, I'm not telling the whole truth, kind of thing.
Right. Yeah.
Definitely not. So, do we want to arrange it like we're all just going to meet up somewhere? So when we start the next session with this, we have a good idea of where we're starting.
Yeah, it would totally be up to you guys. 'Cause I know you guys obviously got the Anemoid Row thing. You got some stuff from the apartment you can take back to Coco. That could lead to different trails. You still got the guy that Zeb's talking to, So
Well, I guess we'll leave it up in the air then, because that's just as suitable for us.
Yeah, of course, right?
To be continued.
Totally.
In the meantime, is there any lab work to be done? Anything in the lab? Nothing in the lab?
Oh, that's totally stuff. You guys got the bullet now, right? You got the blood work.
Yeah, we got the bullet.
The blood's probably obvious. The bullet thing could be big. The blood's like an obvious, probably, right?
Yeah. It turns out it's like 25 people's blood.
That one shot went through 5 people at once.
Yeah.
Oh, plus you have that name that you have to look up, Doc.
Badger,
Doc
right?
Rabbit. Badger, yeah.
Doc
Rabbit.
Badger.
Doc
Rabbit
Badger.
Whatever.
And any other clues you find on the newspaper that might tie other things together too.
Damn right. I got to read more of the newspaper. I learned something about butterflies.
There you go.
Cool. All right. So then that's going to wrap us up for this one, but we will be back to see what we do in the snake pit of cyber blade running.
Exactly.
In the meantime, we can all say bye.
Bye-bye.
All right.
The preceding podcast was brought to you by One Joe Young. You can find us online at adventuresfromtheshed.com.
So when do the light cycles come in? Oh, this is in Tron.
Yeah. Although there are like the spinner cycles, like it's like a flying motorcycle. They do have this.
Right on.
Yeah, so there.
Light cycles are cooler though.